Okay, in this very short video, I'll be showing how easy it is to break a tyre bead if you need to change one of these, a valve stem, or even one of these, a TPMS module.
Tools that you'll need to do this job include rim protectors, a jack to break the tyre bead, a set of tyre levers, a tyre core valve removal tool along with some replacement valve stems and a bottle of soapy water that you can spray to ensure that there are no further leaks. Okay, so how do you know if you need to replace your tyre stem in the first place? Well, it's quite simple. Whilst the wheel is on, take some soapy water and spray around the tyre stem. If you see some bubbles forming, then you know you clearly have a leak. Clearly, I've done that. I know I have the leak, and I've taken the tyre off to demonstrate the effect and the bubbles foaming. This is the sort of effect and bubbles that you will see. Okay, once you've taken your wheel off of your vehicle, the first thing that we need to do is grab the core removal tool and insert that onto the actual valve within the stem. Use the small pointy end and put it onto the valve itself and keep turning in an anti-clockwise fashion as if you're loosening a regular screw until the valve comes completely out of the stem on the wheel. This will ensure that all the air comes out quicker and will fully deflate the tyre, so that when we go to break the bead it makes life a lot easier. So there we go then, that's the core completely removed from the stem, and you can see how fast the air is now coming out of the tyre itself. Okay, so now it's time to actually remove the tyre from the wheel, and the way we have to do this first is we have to break the bead. Now it's important to get the jack close to the rim but not on the rim, and position the jack on something secure and solid on your chassis, so that when you jack the jack up it's not actually going to bend anything or even damage the rim. Now unfortunately with this bottle jack it kept blowing out, it didn't have sufficient reach to actually break the bead on the tyre, so I had to revert back to using another alternative jack, which was the farm jack, which I'll show you now. Okay, so here is that farm lift jack with the base on the tyre, close to the rim, and the actual base of the jacking point of the farm lift jack securely underneath the tow bar. When you use a high lift or a farm jack, you do have to be extremely careful. They can be extremely dangerous if you A, don't know what you're doing, and B, even if you do know what you're doing, decide to take shortcuts. You have to ratchet each crank of the jack which is going up correctly. You need to hold that lever that you're ratcheting down, and in some parts, most importantly, when you're jacking it down, you have to hold the lever as you're ratcheting the jack down, because otherwise it can just go off on its own and smack you in the face and take teeth out. So there we go, the bead's broken on the tyre there. Just jacking the car down to remove that high lift jack in readiness to complete removing a bit of the tyre, and then underway with changing the actual valve itself. So with the tyre removed from the wheel, I'm now inserting those rim protectors between the rim and arguably the gap in the tyre, ahead of getting the tyre levers in and levering the tyre over the wheel like you would when you're changing a tyre on a bicycle, so that we can then wedge some blocks of wood in between the gap to help us work. So there I am, putting the tyre lever in and just working myself around the wheel. No need to go around the entire wheel, but just concentrate around where the valve stem actually is, making sure to obviously not damage the alloy when you work around with the tyre levers. Once you've got enough room, wedge the blocks of wood in between the rim and the tyre to give yourself some more working space. Okay, with the tyre now successfully separated from the wheel itself, and with the two blocks of wood wedged in to give us some working room, we can clearly see the stem and the TPMS system housed within the wheel. It's now time to put the valve tool onto the valve so that it will prevent the valve from slipping through into the tyre and saving us a considerable amount of work, time and effort when we continue on to the next step. Okay, so with the valve stem now exposed, we are ready to remove it. However, if you have a TPMS valve such as we do on the Ford Ranger, it makes life a little bit more tricky and interesting. There are two ways that you can go about doing this. There is a screw, a retaining screw, which connects the TPMS module to the valve stem, but as you can clearly see there, that brass area, that's the part that the screw goes into. Easiest and quickest way to do this, get a hacksaw to it and just cut through it, especially if you're replacing the stem. A lot simpler. Make sure you put something there to protect it, otherwise it will go down into the wheel. Once you're ready to remove the valve from the wheel, spray it with a copious amount of soapy water, and then put your fingers underneath the valve extraction tool and simply just pull it through. It will be tight, it will take a little bit of effort, but it will come through. Once it's through, just examine the hole that the tyre stem comes through for damage, and you may as well just clean it up for good measure before you insert the replacement stem valve into the wheel. Okay, so it's time to finally blow up the tyre. Easiest way to do this is just use your body weight to just kick down the wheel into the tyre a little bit more. Probably not quite necessary, but it gives it a bit of a firm footing before you actually start pumping up the tyre. Once you're ready, put your pump onto your tyre and just allow it to inflate the tyre normally. If you've got a super duper air compressor, obviously that'll be quicker, but 12-volt compressors from your local auto shop are more than sufficient in blowing up the tyre. They just take a little bit longer. What I choose to do is I choose to put some of that soapy water around the tyre rim just to help it slip on once it gets to its full compression. As the tyre inflates, you will notice that the tyre will make a bit of a bang or a pop. That is absolutely fine. There it goes there. That's just the rest of the tyre rebeading itself, and then from this point onwards you just allow the tyre to inflate to its normal PSI, and that is that. All that remains is just to refit the tyre to your vehicle and then drive away safely. If you do have a TPMS system, such as what the Ford Ranger actually does do, you will find that you will have to reset your TPMS system upon your car. Now it's quite easy to do. Usually on most cars, particularly on the Ford Ranger, there is a easy TPMS reset button that you can press. If you find that that fails to actually get the module to kick in, the best thing to do is just take the car for a drive for arguably 10 minutes, normal driving conditions, and you'll find that it will fire back up into life. If it doesn't, I will be creating another video explaining how to relearn the TPMS system with the Ford Ranger, so look out for that video coming very soon. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video and if you found it very useful, please do us a big favour, like and subscribe rather. Take care whatever you're doing and have fun, and I look forward to seeing you again on this channel soon.